Our concept pertaining to stem cells is a beautiful story that follows the classical scientific method, which is the observation of a phenomenon in real life that we don't understand. So we try to explain it, so we formulate hypotheses, then we go in the lab to test these hypotheses. With the new data, we come back and we try to re-explain the phenomenon, we reformulate new hypotheses that we go test again in the lab, and through this process, we end up in a place where we have a very good understanding, a complete explanation of the phenomenon, and this is when we are said to have made a discovery. And this is really what happened with our concept pertaining to stem cells. 15 years ago, an article was published in the scientific literature. The title of this article was Turning Blood into Brain. It was a study in which scientists documented how stem cells in circulation in the bloodstream had the ability of migrating in the brain to become brain cells. Around the same time, other scientists documented as well that stem cells in circulation could go into the heart and become heart cells, and also go into the liver and become liver cells. So on the basis of that data, what we started to think, and we formulated this hypothesis, that stem cells actually constitute the natural repair system of the body. Now, it was just an idea 15 years ago. Now, a lot of research has been done, and if we fast forward 15 years later, here's what we know today about stem cells and the natural role of stem cells in the body. Anytime there is an injury or there's a problem somewhere in the body, the affected tissue will release compounds that will circulate in the bloodstream to the bone marrow and will trigger the release of stem cells from the bone marrow. Within 3 to 5 days after the injury or after the onset of the problem, the number of stem cells in circulation will increase 3 to 10 folds. Now, as these stem cells are circulating in the bloodstream, they don't know where to go. They don't know which is the tissue that is in need of repair. So what happens is that after the second to, let's say, the third to the fifth day, in that time frame, the affected tissue will release other compounds, specific compounds that will attract stem cells to that tissue. So what happens is that the stem cells that are circulating everywhere in the body, when they circulate in the fine blood vessels of the affected tissue, they will be called out of the blood circulation. They will migrate in the tissue, and upon contact with cellular debris of that tissue, the stem cells will multiply, will proliferate, and will transform into cells of that tissue. This is the natural repair system of the body. Now, in this whole system, we need to release stem cells from the bone marrow, they need to circulate, they need to migrate, they need to proliferate, and they need to transform in cells of that tissue. All these steps in the process are important, but the one that was the most studied is the relationship between the number of stem cells in circulation and the ability of the body to repair. And in this way, the conclusion is that more stem cells in circulation, more stem cells are available to participate in the process of tissue repair, and the body has more stem cells to use in order to better repair. So if we take, for example, two individuals with identical problems, the ones with more stem cells in circulation will repair faster and better. This is a general conclusion. Now, out of a lot of these studies, another observation has been made. And this is, to me, probably the most important message, because all this work has been done with diseases. But what does it mean for somebody who is healthy? And this is where this is going. All this process that has been studied with regard to an injury and pertaining to tissue repair also takes place in the body of somebody who is completely healthy without any problem. Every day of our life, the bone marrow releases stem cells, and these stem cells will migrate into tissues, replacing the cells that have been lost. So every day of our lives, we lose cells in all the tissues of our body. All the organs of our body are losing cells every day. But these cells are being replaced by stem cells every day. And as long as we replace stem cells, that we renew these tissues, as fast as we lose cells, we stay healthy. The problem comes when we do not renew our tissues as fast as we're losing cells. And this takes place when we age. As we age, we have fewer and fewer stem cells in circulation, so cellular loss gains ground. So really, health in the body is a balance between these two phenomena. Cellular loss on one hand and tissue renewal on the other hand. If we can support tissue renewal and have enough stem cells to renew tissue as fast as we lose cells, we stay healthy. It is really that simple. Sometimes I compare this to bankruptcy. If I ask the question, do you go bankrupt because you have lost your money? And intuitively we would say, yes, I went bankrupt because I lost my money. But in reality, we don't go bankrupt because we lost our money. We go bankrupt because we've lost our income. It is the income that makes the whole difference. It's the same thing with our health. It is the income in terms of stem cells to the tissues that will allow the tissue to stay healthy. So anything that we can do to support the natural role of stem cells in the body, then let's do it, because it's going to help maintain optimal health. And this is leading us to, I believe, a novel understanding of health. Because the best of medicine today, and it's not a criticism, it's just an observation of reality. The best in medicine is preventive medicine. To take back our financial analogy, it's like saying, in order to be wealthy, let's try to prevent poverty. Preventing poverty is never going to help anyone be wealthy. To be wealthy, we need a strategy for accumulating wealth. It's the same thing here. We will never have optimal health if what we're doing is preventing diseases. So all these discoveries and this understanding about the natural role of stem cells in the body is giving us a new understanding about health and wellness. We can go way beyond just the absence of problem. We can give back the body its natural ability to build health, to repair and renew tissues. So it's when we understand all of this that we understand the importance of supporting the natural role of stem cells in the body. And it is with this whole understanding that at Cerule we have focused our development and our research on products that supports the release of stem cells from the bone marrow with StemEnhance Ultra, the circulation of stem cells in the body with Plasma Flow, and the migration of stem cells in various tissues with SciActive.